Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future home buyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of home ownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. License Lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.
DJ.
Everybody, it's Anna and Melinda. Glad to have you back, my sister. I missed you.
I know. I've been away. I've had new things arise, trying to get everything together, but I'm back.
Yeah, I'm glad you are. It hasn't been the same without you.
No, you got it. You got it. Put the fort down.
No, but so go ahead.
How has everything been? I've been trying to catch up on everything. I hear we have visitors today on the show.
New visitors today.
Literally, I'm going to be introduced to them too on the show. I wanted to get that intro just like everybody else. So tell me about it, Anna.
All right. So today we have Brittany and Hanna, and they have a podcast called Untying the Knot.
Cute.
Their show airs on Tuesdays. You can look for them on all of your podcast platforms, all the major ones. And so I'd like to bring them on so we can
for sure.
Go ahead and
What up?
Nice to have you guys.
Oh my gosh, it's so good to be here.
Yeah, I'm Melinda. I know I haven't had a chance to meet you ladies, so I wanted to wait just like everybody else. So hello.
Hello.
I know you've been talking to Anna.
This is like the new way of meeting people. Yeah, I'm so excited.
So cool. So I guess if you don't mind, I do have a question. I guess how did you two meet? How did y'all come together? I know how we came together. How did y'all come together?
We kind of say, it's funny. I say like our tagline is like, we were strangers on the internet, because it's the truth.
Cool.
Yep.
We both happen to go to the same business retreat. Hanna and I are big proponents in self-care, investing in yourself. Nice. And if we're going to, we got to walk the walk if we're going to talk the talk,
of
right?
Course.
So we went to this same retreat, separate times. And from there, a relationship just grew, because we knew we were in the same sisterhood.
Oh, I like that.
And yeah, I think I actually messaged her randomly one day. I was literally on my way to work. I work like an hour away from where I live in Philadelphia. And before the sun rose, I'm calling poor Hanna. She's like in California. And I'm like, I'm messenger my time, Easter time, which is like 5:30, like in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, so do you want to start a podcast? We don't know each other, but let's do it. And
Well,
and
it's funny because we had been like messaging back and forth, like commenting on each other's stuff and sharing each other's stuff to our Instagram stories, both building Instagram accounts. And yeah, she's just like, hey, this is a really probably super crazy idea, but I'm just going to throw it out there, because why not? Do you want to do a podcast together for single moms and divorced divas? And I'm like, I do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, divorce.
I do.
I should like, what's the name, like where you coin that term? Because I like been using the divorce diva term, because like I feel like my fiance says to me all the time, like, I love your Instagram page. It's about divorce recovery, but like, when you think of divorce, you think of like, it's like this, like like it's a natural feeling. Like I'm divorced too, but it's this natural, like scarlet, like letter feeling. So that's a big part of why we brought Untying the Knot to the surface, because there is a huge stigma stench. I mean, hey, in the world where like most of the kids in my son's class are divorced, it still is like looked upon as this hush hush thing. And we just were like, we're so over that. Like, we're so proud. Divorce is a celebration, and we got to step up.
And we kind of actually touched base on that a couple of weeks ago about that whole divorce thing. And but I can see how you got inspired to do it. That's pretty cool. Right. I think Anna and I have been inspired forever, and we just one day said, the hell with it. It's 2022. Let's do it.
This is our year. Let's do it. IOV.
Here we are.
Putting a marker.
What nobody wants to talk about.
Exactly. And Melinda and I are, we're in between the gray, because we want to talk about the stuff that people don't, they want to talk about it, but they don't want to talk about.
They dance around it. Yeah,
exactly. And we are so very we got balls
that people, what's it called, where they beat around the bush to talk about it,
just sugar-coat it. And
they do. And so far I think we've done what we normally do, is get on the phone and talk or text or whatever about everything, and we're just bringing it out forth. And I know that today's lineup is actually going to be a really good lineup. I'm very excited to talk about our topics today. So I don't know, are y'all ready?
But before we get started, let us know how all of the listeners can get a hold of you guys or get in touch.
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on with Hanna Noel, and I am a single mom supporter here. I am smashing stigma for single moms, and I'm just here to support you, show you that you're not alone. Like the things that you have gone through, so many other women have gone through, whether you're in the middle of it, whether you're on the other side at the beginning. Like, I'm just here to support you. That's what our podcast is all about too. Like just,
for sure,
showing you that there's community and there's hope at the end of the tunnel. So come hang out with me there.
Nice.
And my name is Brittany, as we've already said. So you can find me. I hang out at Britt Killion, 2 T's, not like Britney Spears. All right, peeps. And
I was just about to belt out a song.
Hey, listen, you know what? I love me some Britney Spears. No lie, off topic, but I'm going to my bachelorette, and we're doing a Britney Spears themed night at my bachelorette. Right?
She's my workout music, so I love it.
I love it.
Nice.
It's good workout music.
She's my workout music.
Yeah, so I'm at Britt Killion. That's where I hang out, and I'm all about divorce recovery. I've walked through it myself. I emancipated myself, as I say, on July 23rd, 2019. And
congratulations.
Thank you. It is. It's a celebration. the hardest thing that I ever done, something has grown so beautifully out of that. And this platform is a celebration of that, where we are, you know, smashing societal views and rewriting your love story, because that's where I'm at right now. I just recently got engaged. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful proposal too. He
Yes.
proposed in front of the Walt Disney World Cinderella castle.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah. And I'm a
not
former
listening today.
I think he's actually asleep. He just got back from a flight.
Lord.
Yes. And I'm a former Disney princess, so it was a very epic for like a very thing for me.
Right.
There. Yes, that's me in a nutshell.
Nice.
All
Well, Ovi's ready to get into our topics tonight. I'm sure we all are too. So, first topic that we're going to talk about today is what makes a person a crazy ex? Now, we've all been through it. We've all been the crazy ex. We've had the crazy ex. But what actually categorizes a person to be a crazy ex?
What do y'all think?
I actually think it's less about what categorizes them and more about what your gut instincts are, because I think there's red flags. I think everybody has different red flags. I mean, there's like general red flags. Like, I don't know if he's sleeping with somebody else. Obviously, that would be a red flag.
Right.
But I think we all have different boundaries. We all have different values and stuff. So I think it's more important to listen to your gut, because I think so many times in my own marriage, I didn't. And there were a lot of times
I think the gut has a lot to do with it. I think you just know. I think if you know that saying, like a woman knows. I really true believe. I believe that. Mm-hmm. But I would right off the bat be a crazy ex all the time. Because I would. I have no shame in that. Like, if I'm cornered, if I'm cornered and I'm sinking like the Titanic, I'm gonna get something out of it. So I am going to definitely come at this person, my friend, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, and I'm going to go full speed. And immaturity, of course, it is. But hey, if I did nothing wrong in the relationship and it's going down because of that guy's fault, oh no, it's on.
Oh,
I would be the crazy ex. like if I've had relationships where I break up or they break up with me or whatever. Well, I break up with them, or we fight and they're like, it's over, and I'm like, really? I'm so Notebook. You know? Are you sure? No, we're not gonna break up. This is not breaking up. We're still together. You know, we're just fighting. That's me. And then I'll call the person back like nothing ever happened. And
I don't think that's crazy.
I can get in there and I can get them back just like that. I don't know what it is, but I would definitely be that crazy ex, like all day long. No problem.
At least you own it. I mean, I agree. Like, I don't really think it's that crazy. I think you know what you want.
Yeah, I don't think it's that crazy.
For sure. Like, I don't do me wrong. Because you invest so much time in a relationship, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't want to be with you anymore. It's like, oh no, it doesn't go down like that. And I think that's how I would be. Like, no.
But I think that person actually is the more crazy person. That would be that to me. When I hear that story, what you're telling me, you're more of the reactive person of what they're doing, suddenly ending it. That's narcissistic.
What would be
my ex was very.
Yeah, that's narcissistic. They make you to be the crazy one because you're freaking out. Well, but that's a normal human reaction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you're insane. You're crazy. I'm like, no, I'm pissed. You know?
That's a valid human reaction. So they would actually flip the tables. I bet you if we had more of these conversations, you'd come to find out they were the crazy ones and not you.
Yeah, because you sense it, you feel it. So why not react on it? Like, what are you going to do? Just say, okay. And I used to be that person, like, you know what? Okay, whatever, on to the next, right? That was something that I used to do. But now I'm like, I've invested this time and energy and now you want to walk? Oh, no. No. Will I be the girl? I don't think I would ever. Well, here's the thing. I don't think I would ever attack the woman because it's not their fault. I truly believe the other woman is not their fault. If your guy wants to cheat, he's going to cheat, right? Yeah. So you can't. Right. I mean, believe me, I hear this from men all the time because I am such a jealous person too. On top of that, I'm so messed up. It's not even funny. But
we're here for it. We'll have
But people in relationships with me, they literally go crazy. I mess them up. But, you know, she's been on me about, you know, you got to just like chill, you know, let it happen. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. But my thing is if you're going to do it, I'm going to get you back. There's always a payback for me. So I think my crazy would be, I'm going to get you back. Like,
and looking
an
for
eye for an eye.
You're looking for revenge.
Yes. What you do,
but sometimes, and I think we're all guilty of it, is you're looking for something before it actually happens.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that all day long.
Yeah.
So I actually do have a crazy ex story, and we talked about this on the podcast. It was our second episode. I don't know if you remember, Britt. So I was dating this one guy, and this was like, I don't know, a couple years after my daughter's dad and I split. And we had gone on a few dates, and I just like, what actually did it for me, the first time he kissed me and I was like physically like, I was like, oh, this is not compatible. Like, this is not a good thing. So it was a couple days later, and we were talking, and I was like, hey, can we get together and I don't know if he could just sense that things weren't okay. I don't know what happened, but he like was like adamant about like, well, why do you want to get together so bad? Like, why can't we just, hang out and do, I think it was like, we were going to go do something extravagant that he was going to spend a lot of money on. And I didn't want him to do that when I was about to break up with him. So I was like trying to say, hey, can you just like meet me for a drink or whatever? And he was like not having it. And finally I was like, and he was like, are you going to break up with me? And I was like, yes, actually, like, it's just not working out for me. Like, he wanted to see me. And what was so weird about this conversation was the fact that he wanted to see me pretty much every day. My daughter was only 2 years old.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I was like not in a place to be seeing him hanging out every single day.
I don't think that's bad.
Well, no, hold on.
No, but in an aggressive way. Yeah.
It gets worse. So I break up with him. We have the conversation. I just say, listen, I wanted to do this in person. I'm sorry that I'm telling you this over the phone, but it's just, I'm just at a place in my life right now where I don't want to, excuse me. I don't want to have a relationship. Gosh, 2 hours later, he starts texting me all these crazy texts. Like, my life is over. We literally had been talking for like 2 months. We had literally gone on, I think, 3 or 4 dates. And he was just like, you were everything to me. I had plans with you. And I'm like, what plans are you talking about? And I said, I don't know. Like, that was not on my agenda. Like, I thought we were just getting to know each other. And he goes, no, my life is over now. And he sent me a picture of himself laying in bed with a gun to his head.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And I called 911 and I said, I don't know if this guy's serious, but my ex just sent me a picture of of him with a gun to his head. And I don't want him to kill himself, obviously. So like, can someone go help him? And then at that point I just ignored it. And then the next day he texted me like, hey, thanks for calling, the cops. Like, I'm sorry I did that. Like, trying to like be all manipulative. And he was like, I hope you and Amberly, my daughter Amberly, I hope you and Amberly have a great life and blah, blah, blah. And I just ignored it. I deleted and blocked his number. I deleted and blocked his number at that point because I was like, this is.
Well, that would be a good time to walk away. But honestly, it's kind of scary to even think about walking away too, because you don't know if he's really sick like that,
Right.
I had a friend who had a husband who did that.
No, he didn't. He
didn't
shoot himself.
No.
And she didn't know. She didn't know whether she should or should not believe it. Because some guys do that. Some guys are just really sick to play games like that. That's sad, right?
Yeah.
That is
it
crazy.
is.
That
says
is
more about them
than
than
to walk
you.
away. That's a lot of mental stress. That's crazy.
I'm just like, man, I dodged there was obviously something I learned through dating and through that circumstance, especially, is to trust your gut. Like you were talking about earlier, like when a woman just knows, she knows.
Just know. And that's something
I just knew.
It freaks me out.
Knew that he was not okay. And that was not going to be a good fit.
Oh my God, that's terrible. I'm sorry you went through that. I mean, but you know what? There are some guys that are really not well. Well, women too. There's people that are really not well. And it's scary if you know that you feel that they're really not well. But then there's people that just are sick, and they do it just to do it, to see what they can get out of you. And that's awful. Yeah. That's very scary.
Yeah, that's very scary. That's definitely
I definitely would never go to that extreme, but I know that I can be pretty bad. I'm bad. I'm overall bad. I'll probably never get a date. If someone ever saw me on a website like Tinder, they would say, skip, burn, throw the phone away. She's horrible.
Oh gosh.
Well, I think you're hilarious. Well,
I know.
I disagree.
Well,
I'm having a good time.
Open. Like I've learned to just tell people how I want things. And I know I wasn't crazy ex. Well, I was not. I had a story about a crazy ex who I dated a guy, and I literally dodged a bullet too, because he was very obsessive. Like he would call me back then when we had the cord phones. I would be in my living room on my phone, and he'd be all, I'm outside your window, I'm looking at you, and I'm like,
what? Keeping Tom?
I was only 15, and this guy, well, I was a freshman and he was a senior, so I was like, oh, I'm so insecure. But when he started doing that, I was like, what the hell? And then he would like call me and tell me, like, we broke up, and then he would call me and tell me, meet me outside the backyard. And I was like, what? And I knew nothing. It was really scary. And then I didn't know how to break up with him. Like, he wouldn't go away. He was very obsessive and controlling. And then finally he called me up one night, and he was at KP's at Kicker Palace here in Poteet, and he called me up and said, I'm gonna break up with you, I found someone. And that was like the best breakup ever. I was like, thank God. Later to find out he was actually very abusive. He like beat his girlfriend, marriage, wife, whatever, later down the line. So I mean, I dodged a bullet on that one too, because I was like, what the hell? And I couldn't shake him off. I just couldn't shake him off. So I think stalkers definitely fall under crazy. You know,
yes, stalkers definitely in the crazy
category.
They can fly under the radar too.
They do. They're very quiet. And I think guys do, and women that do this, I think they like it. I really do. I think it's a control thing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it is. It's actually
it's like a game, like cat and mouse.
Personality disorder. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little bit on the weird side, but
a little.
I think we all are. We all have our quirks.
Yeah, but the difference is between that and what you're talking about, those kind of personality disorders, is you would not find, I will assume this, correct me if I'm wrong, you would not take pleasure out of seeing somebody in pain. Like, not, and I'm not talking like, obviously from a physical standpoint, but I'm even talking from an emotional standpoint. Like, you wouldn't want to put somebody down or like manipulate them, or you wouldn't want to berate them, right? Like, right.
Yeah.
So that's
my
like
thing is payback, and then I'm on to the next. You know, it's just like, I'm not going to invest energy and time and then just let you off the hook that easy. I mean, some people are like, oh, it's best, he's gone, whatever. I don't believe in that. I believe in, you know what, you're going to get it. You're going to get something from me. But let me grab it in the bag and pull it out. But you're going to get some bomb. I'm throwing some grenade at you. I don't care what it is. But yeah, I think crazy exes are definitely, I think they're they're hard and difficult, especially if you go into a relationship that has a crazy ex. And I guess that's where you have to come across boundaries and how to be in control. So have y'all ever gone over any boundaries? Have you ever crossed boundaries in a relationship?
I think I've had to set more boundaries than somebody else setting boundaries for me, if that makes sense. I mean, I came out of a narcissistic abusive relationship, and I did not know the meaning of what boundaries are, because if you are in that situation, your ability to create and make boundaries is non-existent. So yeah, it was like a really, it was like, I call it the year of divorce first. It was really hard to create those boundaries because there was what's called trauma bonding. If you ever heard of like, like Stockholm syndrome, have you ever heard of Stockholm syndrome? Like when somebody kidnappers, the people that are kidnapped, they fall in love. Okay. So They actually tested the brains of people that have been in narcissistic abusive relationships. And it's similar. The best way to describe a trauma bonding relationship, it's similar to Stockholm syndrome, which is really crazy. So you can imagine, like, the longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out. I mean, I left in like the dead of the morning. Like, I had to pretend I was going to work. I had to pretend I was going to work. And I got dressed for work and I left and I went to my parents, pretend I was dropping my son off at daycare, and went to my parents and waited. And it was like, we had a couple hours to go in and get out and get everything, because I knew if he came back, I was never going to leave.
Wow. So yeah, I can see that. I think I'm more of a control person. To me, I just don't want to get hurt. I think what I do for myself as a woman.
Hello.
What I do as a woman, I just I'm very defensive. I'm like, always, I got to be on my toes all the time. And I know that's not the right way to have a relationship, but I just don't like getting hurt. I hate the feeling. I can't be alone forever. Because
I'm sure you like that, because that happened to you.
I'm not one to be alone.
Like, have you been hurt in the past? Well, it's coming from old past trauma.
Have I been hurt, Anna?
Well, that's what it would be from.
Yes, she's been, you've been through. Yes, some very traumatic.
I blocked it out. I'm like, what's that where you block shit out? I'm blocked. I blocked my shit out because I don't know if I've even been hurt or not. I just know I'm very defensive. I'm very this is what I want. If you can't do it, I'll find someone else who can. I feel like maybe one day I might be alone because no one can, go off my checklist. But I don't think I have much boundaries. I think I'm just more controlling. I think I am. What do you say? Do you think
I think your walls are up, and so they're your boundaries, but they feel to other people that they may be controlling. But it's like I always tell you, it's your time to put up your boundaries, put up your walls, accept what you want to accept and not. Exactly.
What's
because
wrong with that?
You and I have both been through very toxic, traumatic relationships,
and you understand,
things that you don't remember that I vividly remember.
Don't. I kind of block stuff out. That's how come I had to ask you: have I been through something so traumatic that I hate men?
It's not that you hate them; it's you want to be loved, and I just feel
like I'm setting myself up for failure with them for some reason, and I don't want to.
Because you subconsciously remember.
Yeah,
you subconsciously remember what you've been through.
So I feel
it's bringing in kind of like that old baggage. It's like bringing in that old baggage from past,
and that's it. I mean, I have a lot of baggage. I guess emotional baggage, maybe. That I've always been controlling, though. I've always been. This is what I want. Never did I think that I'd have to go up to a person and say, okay, this is what I want. Can you do it? Yes or no? But that's literally how I date.
Yeah. But those are boundaries.
I'm a single person. I mean, I'm in a relationship, but, I recently became single a couple of years ago, and I got into a relationship. And I don't know if you ladies know, but he's a little bit younger than me. A lot younger than me.
He's a lot younger.
And, I just kind of said, this is what I want, dude. Can you do it or can't you? And I mean, like Anna said, it's what I want.
Yeah.
And I think I'm controlling. I feel like I'm controlling. But then
I feel like you're just labeling it as that. I feel like it's more so boundaries.
Let's see
what does Catherine have to say here?
She just says, I was controlled for many years. I had to get a restraining order. That order had the cops escort me to my home, get my clothes for my children and myself. Oh my God.
Yes.
Then had to get into a hotel until the cops could serve him. So I've never been, and I'm so sorry about that, Catherine. I've never been in that kind of relationship. I would never as a woman be that controlling to an individual. I just want to get my 2 cents in. I just want to get my payback and then I leave. That's usually what I am. But I can't imagine having to go through something like that. I just can't.
My ex-husband with me was very mentally manipulative.
And that's just as bad.
Myself. And that's what I had to do. I had to make the decision. I was 5 months pregnant for my son, and I had to make that decision. Am I staying or am I leaving? And I mean, you ladies know being pregnant is, you're emotional as it is, but to have to make that decision, I'm going to do this on my own is even harder. But mental abuse, I put boundaries up afterwards. But like Catherine, I had to go with the police to the apartment to get my stuff out. Thank God I worked at the sheriff's department. So when I did call, I had people that knew me and knew about my relationship, that they were always at my house right away. So, I mean, thank God to the Atascosa and the Pleasanton Police Department for being there when I went through that time in my life.
Wow.
I think with boundaries, though, boundaries is something to protect you, protect your mental health, protect your kids if you have kids, you know. Yes. Controlling is where it's someone wants you to fit in a box and wants you to fit their narrative. You know, if you're being controlled, or if you're the one that's controlling, you're trying to tell people who they should be. And you're only allowed to do this, and you're only allowed to go here, and you're only allowed to talk to these people, and you can only have this much money. Whereas boundaries, you know, is more like, okay, to protect myself mentally, physically, to make sure I'm in a safe, healthy relationship. Like, this is what I expect. This is what I want.
See,
and I mean, I've been single for a long time because, I have I guess expectations of who
that's a good word. That's a good word.
I expect my future partner to have similar expectations of me.
Yeah.
And I know where I'm at in life. I'm not ready to be that person. Like, I don't want to take on that role right now. And I haven't, because I've been raising my daughter. I've been perfectly happy doing that. And, you know, so I think there's definitely a fine line there between what's a boundary and what's controlling. And I think it just comes down to your motives. It comes down to your intentions. Are you
I like
trying
that. You
to
cleared
control
it up
the
for me.
person?
Because that's really good. You cleared it up for me, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm just horrible. But no, they're expectations. And I think I'm entitled to have those expectations, because I'm literally going to be an empty nester. I have a son who's graduating, and all my kids are grown. And I have a new life with the boyfriend, and he has a younger child, and there's an ex. And so I can't shake that. And that person's not going to go away. So I've never dated anybody with children. I was married for 20 years. My husband and I were opposites. So I don't know what it's like to have someone that you have so much in common until now. And it's even more amazing because we like the same shit. So it's exciting. But now there's this X that just pops up, and I can't deal with that. Like, when it comes to that, I think, what did we call that? Like baggage, right? That was
the old baggage, because
the baggage of a relationship. I don't know what baggage I would bring to my relationship if I was to ask him. I don't know what he would say, but I know with him is he had another life. And there's a child, and now it's coming into my life with him, and I'm trying to be very accepting of it, but I don't know how. I've never been put in this situation before, and I think he gets upset because I don't always agree with what he says. But I'm like, dude, this is new to me. Like, give me a break, you know? Like, I don't know what to do. And they're both much younger than me, so I feel like I could just teach y'all a few things. You know?
Exactly.
And I've already raised 3 kids, and they're all college bound and degreed, and I can teach you a few things how to parent, you know? That's how I feel.
But I think it's because the ex is so young, and she's being the crazy ex. She's going through those insecurities. She's going through those "you took my man away" kind of things, not realizing
every woman goes through that.
You lose your man because
I was like, take them.
Exactly.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
I guess that's true, because like, if you cheated on me, I'd be all, whatever, you're gone, you're history. But but I think when there's a kid involved, maybe it's a little bit harder. I don't know. This is like, I'm so new to this. Do y'all have?
I have a son, and I'm going to be like, I don't know. Like, when I hear people talk all the time about, like, my girlfriend's going through it, where she talks about the ex-wife is like too enmeshed. And for me, to be honest with you, I believe in autonomy. And I think there's a reason why me and my ex-husband got split up, right? We are better off healthy-wise in 2 separate homes. And I believe that we both need to be autonomous in our own lives. And that means we're not living like, it goes up against popular opinion, but I believe is like parallel parenting. I think it's more healthier for both the kids. We live our own lives. That's beautiful.
Yes.
That's healthy. And we can still be okay when we exchange the child and everything. But, you know, there's rules over there, there are rules here. And I think there's less intermeshing, because I think when you don't make those clear boundaries again, right, you can bring in too much of that old baggage because you haven't set clear expectations and boundaries in that old relationship yet.
Yeah. Sometimes I think like men, I think really men in general, I think that they don't like the drama. So they try to please everyone. And as the new person in the relationship, I hate that. Like, that's one thing that I feel like go through a lot. And I know I see other women go through it too when I hear them talking, and they're like, yeah, well, you know, we had to rearrange this for this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, why can't you just put your foot down and just say, I'm sorry, but this is not going to happen? They're such people pleasers, so they don't get the drama. And I think that's, especially mine, I think he just tries to please everybody. And then I'm at the end of the day going, who's first? Like, I'm first. Yeah. Please me. Right. Like, this is the new. And I think, you know, if I don't get that, I get pissed off. And I have never, right? And I've never shared a boyfriend. I've never had 20 years, dude. I was married for 20 years, like, wow, devoted and married. And, you know, that's a long time. And now I'm out again and I have to deal with an ex, and I don't know how to do it. And I think that I do have boundaries, and it's like, there's no need to be talking and having all kinds of extra activities. It's, you got a kid, do this, do that, and it's over.
Do you say hi to her? Like, do you talk to her?
I haven't even met this person because I'm just now getting into his son's life.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we dated for a couple of years, and then now we're serious, and now it's kind of like, okay, I got to meet the other. Yeah. My children are grown, so it was easy. But he's got a younger child, and it's like, I got 12, 30, 40 minutes into 12 years, I still got to deal with this. And I don't know. If I can do it. It's hard.
If I can give you any piece of advice, because I've walked through it, is when you have that opportunity to meet her, you know, be cordial, you know, not that you wouldn't, just say hi, or like when there's exchanges in the future with the children, like acknowledge one another, because even though like, you know, you can hear stories from him saying she's this, she's that, like,
you're right.
Allow yourself to make that own judgment. I think that there needs to be room for that, because especially if there's a kid involved. So that's my only piece of advice. Just no matter what, like, make your own judgment about her.
So Frank has a question that I don't really, a comment that I don't really agree with. He said that you shouldn't have to deal with the ex, that the one that needs to that he's the one that needs to deal with her.
I don't agree.
I don't agree either, because
I don't agree, because when you start putting yourself outside of what's going on, I think you start to exclude yourself from what's your life now, you know? So I'm sorry, but I know I want to be involved in everything. I can't make the choice that she wants for her child, but in my house or in my relationship, we will make those choices together when he's with his child.
Exactly. But like Elizabeth says,
I'm not trying to
put
be the
kids
mother
first.
But I'm definitely not going to take a back seat either and just sit back and say, well, you know, I'm going to be babysitter for a few weeks, you know, because we have them for the summer, but I have no shit to say. I can't put my 2 cents. No. I'll take him to daycare if that's the case, you know, and he'll pay for it, because I either have a say so or I don't. If that's how I feel. Like, as a mother, I would never send my kids over to my ex-husband's new place, but I have no choice, right? Because the law is the law. You got to do it. Right. But I tell you what, when my kids get back, it's a totally different story. Like you were saying, Brittany, it's the same thing. Like, there's boundaries over there. There's boundaries over here.
There's that's a beautiful thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
And that could work, but I guess I'm not there yet. Like, it's new to me. I've never like dated anyone, or, you know, and I just you just sit around and you listen to people talk, and, you know, some people are so miserable and they don't want to talk about it because it creates a fight. And I'm thinking to myself, that's always going to be there. Like, I'm just not into, I swore right in it, I would never do the baby mama drama, and look where I'm at.
Exactly.
I think I think every situation is unique though. Sometimes everyone can get along great. Like there's some TikToker I follow who they got divorced, and then the ex-wife and the new wife are now best friends.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Like, that happens. And situations like Brits, that happens. My parents are separated. My parents aren't officially divorced yet, but
if my boyfriend was best friends with his ex, nope. That open the door weird. And kick me out. I don't care would be if the car is going or not. Kick me out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that to myself. I can't. Because I'm such an insecure person. I cannot shake that. I want what I want. And that's I feel like I'm going to be alone forever.
I have to tell you guys Frank's situation as a child. So my dad's brother is Frank's biological father. So we're cousins. We're first cousins. His mom and dad got divorced, and she remarried, and my uncle remarried. I actually went and I lived with Frank's mom and stepdad, my uncle Renee, and my tia Celita, his mother. And my uncles, because they're still my uncles, even though Frank's mom is divorced from both of them, they're still both my uncles. And they both uncles walked his twin sister down the aisle. Like everybody to this day still gets along, all of the exes.
I love that.
It's a beautiful
if it works. If it works, it works.
And it works for them. It really works for them.
And I think it's important that if it works and that works for you, that's great and that's beautiful. But if you're on the opposite end of it and it's not, and it looks miserable, but that's okay. But like, that's okay too. Like I just feel like people often compare too much. Like, oh, because this is my situation. It's not picture perfect. Like, like this, like that's okay. Like your situation is your situation. You've been dealt those cards and you can handle it. Like it's time to be able to like look at your own life and figure, okay, if this is my situation, what things can I do to change it? I can't control the situation, but how can I change it that I still create joy? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and you get to choose. You get to choose what, if you, Mel, like if you don't want to be involved with the ex, like you can choose that. And unfortunately, if your boyfriend doesn't agree with that, he can choose to end the relationship too.
And the thing, Hannah, is, and Anna knows, this guy has done everything that I have wanted to be happy in my relationship with him. He's really the perfect boyfriend. And I mean, I know that I drive him crazy because I have a lot of demands, but that's because that's what I want. I'm not settling anymore. I'm not. It's all or nothing. Take it or leave it. I don't think I have to settle. But
Catherine says something here that if the ex is around, is obvious someone still wants them around. Well, I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, I don't know the situation. So
it depends on the situation.
I think when there's a kid involved, you can't help that, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, because I've never been in a situation with an ex, with a child.
I don't really
unless you're lucky, like my ex gave up parental rights.
And so far, I have not been, whatever contact I have had, it hasn't been positive. But I choose not to really come face to face with this person. But I know eventually I'm going to have to. Right. And I always tell Anna, I just feel like our age difference, people say it's not a difference, but it does make a difference. Because like, I feel like when I address my boyfriend, when I address him and I tell him, when he brings questions to me, I pretty much have the answer already. Why? Because I have 3 kids and the youngest is 18. He's, I've already did my mothering. So when I try to like share what he should do, it's like in one ear out the other. But then if someone else tells him what to do, it's like, oh, well, look, I can do this. And I'm like, I already told you that. Like it's kind of like, I want you there, but maybe I don't want your opinion or your advice. Mm-hmm. And I'm okay with that, but I'm not, because that's not my kid. I can't tell you how to raise your kid. But when you come to my house, there's rules, and you may not like I haven't had him yet. Like, I've done visits with him twice. I've seen him twice. He's adorable, great kid. Looks just like my boyfriend, just the cutest little thing. And he's very young. So, but I look at my picture, like I tell Anna, I don't ever remember my kids being that bad. You know, like I had good kids. Like, people would come to my table and say, you have such great kids. And I look at the kids today and I think, what the hell? Like, parents, break out the belt, do something.
I will say, kids, the currently right now in today's world, the pandemic has ruined. I mean, everything you thought you knew about parenting has been thrown out the window. And I mean, I think I can't think of anyone that their kid is, you know, perfect. Well, obviously no kid's perfect, right? But I think the expectations of kids has changed so much. Even schools are changing their development
criteria. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and so it's affecting all areas, how you parent, the way that your kids react to things. I mean, we've been cooped up in the house for 2 years, and that does something.
It does. Exactly. It really does. And now that everything's back to normal, I like what Liz said earlier, that just because both parents are involved, and I like it, Liz, but it doesn't mean I'm paying attention to it. But if both parents are together, doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want each other, right? But I'm sorry, but when you get the most dumbest calls, when you get your phone being blown up, when you find out it was all a lie and nothing was true to the story, there's motive behind that. For me, there is. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. You know, it's like, oh, we've got to go here. Okay, I'm going. Like, that's the kind of girlfriend I'm going to be. Like, you ain't going nowhere without me. You know, when
but the trust isn't him. But the trust isn't him. It's because of her, right?
I feel like we're going to get back to that point, because I've been there for a little bit. And then, you know, we kind of took a break from everything. So I got to see a little bit of the over dramatic calls. I got to see the I don't know, like the needy part of the ex when it comes to their kid, only to find out later that it wasn't even true. None of the story was true. So to me, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But we worked on our relationship, decided to do it. He works a lot, so I hardly get to see him. And now I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to share that time now. And, you know, I'm going to have this girl now. I call him a girl because she's so young. To me, she's just a kid raising a kid. You know, that'll tell you something about the age here. She's just a kid raising a kid, you know, but don't attack a grown woman like me and try to tell me how to raise my kids when I've already raised my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have these big balls to come at me on something that I can school you on, you know? And I try not to go there. I really try not to go there, because your kid is your kid. You raise them how you want. But don't come after me about my kids. Because, that's right. You know, I could teach you a thing or two.
And then there's parenting styles too that are different.
Yeah.
A million different parenting styles.
I don't do the spoil kids. So like, if you're crying and throwing a fit, you're going to get the belt, period. I used to carry a belt around at Walmart with my kids in my purse. And they would act up and I'd pull it out and say, are we ready for this? Because I'm ready for this. And I mean, it's
about to go down.
That's what I did. And people would look, and I tell you, my kids were not bad. I mean, now my sister's kids were horrible. Oh my God. Killing fish in the kindergarten building. I mean, it was horrible. Horrible. But, you know, she had different parenting skills, like you said. And I'm just about to get into this all over again. And I don't know if I could deal with an ex. And I understand that just because you're parents and you're not together and you're there for the child, but there are the boundaries. It's not freaking ass calling 24/7.
Yeah. Well, and it also depends on, I don't know what their situation is about, like custody wise. So like if it's more 50-50, I think it again, it goes
I don't
back
think there's
to that.
50-50. I think the good thing about it is my boyfriend keeps me involved in everything. Like he'll ask for my opinion. What do you want me to do? He doesn't just say it's my kid. I do whatever I want. You know, he keeps me very involved.
Involvement. Oh, that's good.
But shit, man, even being involved doesn't make
It's
it
hard.
good for me. It's
I
hard.
see here Catherine makes a comment too. It's new to you, and she's trying to get underneath your skin.
And it's working. I'm not gonna lie. You know, the petty calls, and I know it's coming. It does get under my skin because I feel like I don't belong in the situation, but I want the situation because I want him. You know, but the baggage that comes with it, I hate to label the baby that, but the baggage is what I can't shake. And I'm thinking to myself, can I do this? Even he wonders sometimes, like, can you really do this? And I'm like, we're about to find out. Like, game on. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. And it's awful. It's awful.
Well, now that you know that she calls for like all of these stupid reasons.
I'll be answering the phone now. I'll be answering the phone.
Or just set the boundary.
I get to answer the phone and put it on speaker, so I'm very much involved, and that's his choice. You know,
what about
not mine?
What about no phone calls? What about just emails?
What is what?
What about just emails? I have friends that do that.
Emails. I never thought about emails. Yeah. Can they count that way?
It's all documented too.
The only reason that co-parents is again, all situations are unique, but in this situation, maybe a good idea is if she's calling being crazy, talking about wanting to go back to counseling, or can you meet for this, or talking about non-kid related things, then it just goes in an email. That's what I think.
That's why I say he's such a people pleaser. Like, he's trying to make me happy. He's trying to make the ex settle down because, you know, he doesn't really care. It's not about wanting her back. And I don't think she wants him back either. I think it's the fact the way that she doesn't have him anymore, and she's not in her life where she should be or wants to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, what woman doesn't get upset if someone's left? You know, you left my family, you know, whatever the case may be. And who's not going to be upset? I mean, I don't think I would be upset if that was me. I'd be all like, well, you know, where's your best friend? You know, on to the next, you know. I mean, that's my kind of like revenge, and then I move on. But I would never make up stories, or I would never try to personally ruin someone's relationship if it's going well. Yeah. I believe people are unhappy. I was unhappy at one point in my marriage, and it doesn't feel good, you know, and it's okay to say, do I want something else? At least I think it is. I don't know. Some people may not feel that way, but, you know, and then you work things out. But I'm really trying to deal with this, and it's hard. You know,
so Frank says, why not just be the bigger person? But
I'm tired of being the bigger person, Frank. I'm always the bigger person. I'm tired of it.
Honestly, if I can be honest with you, I think he needs to put boundaries up with his ex-wife. I mean,
that's what it sounds like.
That's how I've had the same exact conversation with my girlfriend, and she's walking through it, and she's now 3 years into it, hoping that it was going to change. And I said to her, how much longer can you do? Like, do you look, if it's 3 years now and it's going to be 3 more years. So, and she's had the conversation. And I say that to you because she has had the conversation with him. Like, you need to put out boundaries, and he won't. So now it's an issue. She's realized that.
I think, Brittany, we're on the boundary thing because now he's getting to spend more time work. You know, he's really putting work on the back burner to spend more time with his son because he's going to be starting school, and, you know, that tells you how old he is. And so I'm very happy that he stepped up like that. You know, he really made a commitment to, you know, put off something that he does. That he enjoys. He enjoys working. Right. He loves his job to spend more time. And we're 2 years in, and, you know, I've, you know, been on the back burner because I chose to be on the back burner because I wasn't ready for all this. And now we're in it. And like I said, I'm included in everything. He includes me in everything. I have told him what I do like, what I don't like. So he's setting boundaries, but it's like he tells me it's just started. Like, I don't know what to expect, you know?
Right. Yeah. But Elizabeth has a good point here.
And I don't know if
I agree.
Stickers.
She has a really good point.
Yeah. Elizabeth says, what you allow in the beginning will continue throughout. It goes back to communicating your expectations. So setting your boundaries is what you have to do from the very beginning.
Let me ask everybody this,
decide.
and be honest. Are my boundaries, is my expectation unreal? Be honest, because
I don't think you defined your expectation to him yet about the ex-wife.
To be first. I just want to be a very active person in this, because I am definitely not going to be parenting anymore other than my grown-ass kids. And I have very good, responsible, thank you, Jesus, children. And they got their lives and they're together. And here I'm starting. And this is what I get from a lot of family and friends. It's like, dude, you're starting all over again. Like, do you want this? But I want him. And in order to have him, I have to want this, you know? There's no way around it. There's no way around it. It's not going to go away. I think you are crazy. But
if you were laying it out there,
we'll have to parent. And I don't want to parent. Like, I don't want to be that parent that parents another kid. I would never want nobody to parent my kid. And I think maybe this is where the ex is feeling. So woman to woman, I'll call her that. I think she really doesn't want my hands-on, you know.
But Liz says here, then stay out of it and do not insert yourself.
Then I got to stay out of his life, because I will not be the third wheel in any relationship. And if I'm going to be with him, I'm not going to be on the back burner. I'm going to be involved, engaged, or forget it. I'm just not going to be that girl that says hi at Thanksgiving and then I'm sitting with the kids at the kid table. I'm not doing it.
But won't that require you to kind of be a parent, right? Because he's going to have custody of his kid, right?
Well, they share custody.
Okay.
They just, she had more custody only because of his job. But, you know, he's come to me and said, I want to spend more time with my child. And I'm like, I totally get it. Who doesn't, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, now it's
I don't think it's that you don't want to parent.
I really don't, Anna. That's the truth.
I know, but I think it's you don't want to raise.
Mind,
no, but I'm not trying to, but what I'm trying to say is it's not that you're not willing to be there for.
Did you see what Elizabeth said?
Yeah. What did she say?
I eat it too. That's exactly it, Elizabeth. That's what I want. Why can't I have it?
But you're willing to be there with him, just not making decisions or saying this kid is living with me full time and I'm going to be his mother. Basically, that's what you're saying.
Because it's a lot of stress. I don't put him through a lot of stress. It's just that in order for us to stay together, it's stressful because he has to make me happy. He's got to make the situation happy. He's got to put his kid first. And, you know, then he has his family. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure on him. And I feel for him, but I'm still not backing down. I know what I want and I want it. And if I can't get it, then I guess I don't, you know, I guess it's not meant to be, but
at the same time, can I just say, like, isn't life all about having pressures? I mean, I'm sorry, but like, I'm sure you have a lot of pressures too. So like, I don't know.
Over my pressure points there.
Us as women have a lot of pressures. I think you're making an excuse for men here. I don't know. Just saying.
I've already cashed in my toy coins at the
exactly. So
thing, I'm just tired of it.
We all can deal with a lot of pressure. Let me just say that. So
I get it.
Here's a lot of comments coming up about the kids being first.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know. I get it.
The kids be first. But the thing is that he is not putting his kid first. He's putting Melinda first.
He's putting my thoughts and everything first.
Her feelings first.
And so that just needs to be a conversation. Yeah. But that obviously you need to have a conversation about it, because if he's torn too, where he wants to put you first, but he has to put his kid first, he has to truly decide what he wants. And
he
has to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with that too.
He's a good parent because he does everything. He does everything he can. He works, like I said, he works hard. It's hard to, and here's the thing. Again, I've worked 3 jobs and I raised 3 kids with my husband who only had one job. Listen to this, whoever's speaking it real saying to me.
Right.
My husband had one job for 21 years. Same job, moved up the ladder, worked 24/7. We had 3 children and we had 2 incomes. As I went to school as I carried 3 jobs, I still managed to never, listen to this, never use daycare in my life. I raised my children. I did everything I possibly could. I put myself through the ringer. Which mother hasn't for their kids, right? All because my husband could not do any extra jobs at the time because of his job. He had a great job, made good money, couldn't pick up a second job. The money was not enough. So I did what I had to do. I raised my kids, and I put everything on the back burner, everything. And now my kid is 18. My baby is 18. You know, I have between 3 kids right now, there are 3 college degrees, and one's about to go to engineering school. I did my thing. I did it. Yeah. I give myself props because I did it. I lost my husband 3 years ago. So I had to pick all those pieces up and do it all over again by myself. So my thing is I don't feel shitty for wanting what I want. I don't. I deserve it. I deserve it. And I love this guy with all my heart, but geez, I don't know if I can deal with drama. I don't know. And I'm torn. I'm torn because in order to be with him, I've got to have everything, the baggage, everything that comes with it. Everything.
That's a tough spot to be.
It's tough.
From everybody's personal experiences, what would you like to leave? What message would you like to leave for the listeners?
I need help.
At least she's honest.
DM me.
Therapy. I'm too complicated.
Hey, listen, I believe that everybody needs therapy, so no shame in that.
Yes. Yeah. I go to therapy every 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's glorious.
Yeah. I need therapy. I need help. I'm not a bad person. I really am not. I'm tired of settling. I'm just tired of settling. And I think I know I'm going to have to, and I know I'm going to have to, you preach it to me every day. I call this girl every freaking day and tell her the same fucking problems every day. And she tells me the same shit and I don't listen to her.
Yeah, you sound like, Anna, I sound like you, and she sounds like my girlfriend. Oh my God.
Yes, exactly.
Like, oh my God.
I want the doctor.
Mel, you are my girlfriend. You are my girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm trying. I don't want to put anything bad on any mothers. I think any single mothers that are out there and single fathers out there doing what they do, I give them props. I never want to take that away. But, you know, I want to say if you're not happy, then find your happiness. That's all I'm going to say. Find your happiness so everyone else can be happy too. You don't have to carry that grudge if they left you or it didn't work out or whatever the case may be. It's over. Like, find your happiness. Everyone has a new happiness. And I just want to say, if you're out there and you're going through what I'm going through, hit me up and give me some pointers and tips throughout the day. But if you're on the if you're on the giving side, if you're that person and you're that ex, and I mean, just there, don't waste your energy, you know, don't waste your energy. Go find your happiness. Go find your happiness. And your kid is always going to be number one, no matter what, unless you have a deadbeat mother or father, which they do exist. They label them differently. I'm just going to be front. They're deadbeat. You know, I mean, there's nothing you can do, you know, make yourself happy because whatever your child sees or your children see is what they're going to think is happiness. Yeah. If you're sad and miserable, they're going to think that's what happiness is. Yeah. And you don't want that for your kids. So say a prayer for me.
Hanna, Brittany, any final words?
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for having us on. This has been just such a way to fill my cup up. So thank you. I really appreciate the time. It's been wonderful.
We appreciate it.
We enjoyed y'all.
Yes. Listening to our craziness and
hey, we've all got crazy. It's kind of nice to all come together and like have that camaraderie, you know?
Yes.
And I, you know, you always think that men always think that women are never wrong. Guys, I'm proof. I messed up. I need help.
And you're gonna get help. Go find a therapist
I'm
and
gonna
work
make it.
through it.
Every week I talk a little bit about how my relationship's going. Thank you, Liz.
And we have therapy every day. We have therapy every day, don't we, Mel?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
There you go.
All right. Well, I just like. Go ahead, Mel.
No.
Okay. Okay, I just want to thank both of you ladies for coming on. Remember, you guys can catch Brittany and Hanna on Untying the Knot on Tuesdays, correct? You guys launch on Tuesdays on all of the major podcast platforms.
Yep.
And also you can catch In Between the Gray on Mondays, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, 8:00 Central Standard Time. And you can follow us on all of your social media. And if you want to get in contact with us for any ideas or just to let us know what we're doing good and what we're doing bad and what you like and don't like, you can reach us at contact@inbetweenthegray.com.
Yeah,
and we'd like
for sure.
And we'd like to thank Clovercrest Media Group. That's where we're broadcasted from. I always get tongue-tied here. Must be too much of the tea. No. So anyway, but thank you guys again for coming
enjoyed
on.
it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Nice to meet you. I did. I wanted to meet you when everyone else got to meet you because I've been off for 2 shows. I've been so busy, but I was like, don't tell me that thing. I want the same surprise as everyone else. So you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I love you.
Yes, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah,
this
is
awesome.
But yeah, send me some help, people.
Send it our way. Put that out to the universe.
Yeah, send it, universe, spirit, people. Come on. I need it. I always need it.
Apps can do a lot of cool things. You could order dinner, gamble on your favorite team, and track your health. You could even get a mortgage. One click and you can be approved. I'm not sure by who or what country they're in. You deserve more from the mortgage industry. At AnyMac Home Mortgage, we believe in the need for live human interaction during a very complex process. The kind of service and guidance which an app simply can't provide. Our customers are more than credit scores and income documents. They're individuals and families who live in and strengthen our communities. Their story is our story, and that story begins in a home. Chris Sawyer is an expert on providing superior customer service and in meeting the mortgage needs of current and future homebuyers. With over 18 years of experience in the industry, Chris is able to help customers migrate through the home buying and home financing process by using his wealth of knowledge as a well-qualified mortgage professional. And best of all, Chris is located in Cromwell, Connecticut, where he has helped hundreds of clients in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island make their dreams of homeownership a reality. Visit chrissawyer.any-mac.com. Email him at csawyer@any-mac.com or give him a call, 860-878-8730.
Chris Sawyer, NMLS number 39345, corporate NMLS number 338923. AnyMac Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender. American Neighborhood Mortgage Acceptance Company, LLC. DBA AnyMac Home Mortgage. Lo-Fi Direct. Connecticut First Mortgage Correspondent. Licensed lender. Broker number ML 338923. Massachusetts Mortgage Lender and Mortgage Broker License number MC 338923. Rhode Island License Lender. License number 201128110L. Call for additional details.